Hi Danielle, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, is it okay if we do a little recap of what we discussed last time before we get into our session today?
Yes.
Okay. So last time you had came to me and you had been experiencing some issues with gambling, and basically you had said that your boyfriend was starting to have a little bit of problems with this and was wanting you to cut back or stop. It was causing a strain on your relationship, and he basically wanted to see if you could seek help for that, correct?
Right.
Okay. Has there been any changes since then?
There's been changes. It's same issues with my boyfriend, but now my landlord is getting involved because I'm still continuing to gamble, and unfortunately, the money is not coming in as fast as it's being spent, and I'm finding that I can no longer pay my rent. So my landlord has started to evict us. So it's also causing a huge problem with our living situation, which is in turn causing even more problems for me and my boyfriend.
Okay. Now, do you see this as a problem, or is this what other people are telling you? Is this what you're hearing from your landlord? Like, what is your personal opinion on the
I
situation?
personally I personally do the gambling because I'm bored. It's a pastime for me. I have nothing else to do. I do it so frequently that I don't see the issue with it because it's just something I do. It's become an everyday norm. But I am seeing that it's posing an issue with my landlord, which I'm not understanding. I understand that he needs to get paid, but I think my boyfriend needs to compensate maybe where I'm lacking.
So you don't feel like it's
I don't feel that I'm the issue. I feel that my boyfriend should maybe stop buying sneakers and help pay the rent rather than stop gambling and doing what I enjoy.
okay? So basically, what I'm hearing is that you don't think that the problem is you at all, and you're kind of wondering why everyone else. You feel like they're blowing it out of
Right, like
proportion. Maybe your boyfriend should step up and
why can't my boyfriend do
maybe
something
help
to
help you out because you guys are
stable it a
living
bit?
together, right?
Right.
Okay. Um. So other than that, is this issue causing you the gambling causing any other problems in other areas of your life besides just with your boyfriend and the landlord?
Really, it's just the money aspect in general. I've been trying to save up to get a car, which would allow me to work, but unfortunately, all the money is being spent on gambling. I'm not seeing this as an issue because it's something I enjoy, and while I realize I need to get a car to get a job, I really do believe that my boyfriend should pick up where I'm lacking.
So you think that your boyfriend should be able to financially provide for the
Yeah,
both of
if
you?
he loves me, I should be able to do what I like. I'm not harming anybody involved. I think my boyfriend should be able to pick up that slack.
That's understandable. I kind of feel like I kind of understand where you're coming from. Do you basically? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, do you think that anything positive would come about if you potentially tried to change, or do you think that maybe you might be able to change? Do you think it would
I
help at all?
think it may resolve some issues with me and my boyfriend, and obviously it would allow me to save more money. But now, me and my boyfriend fighting is creating a whole new issue for me because I'm thinking, well, does he not love me enough to just pay the bills? So I need to stop doing something I enjoy. As I could see, it would be positive if I did stop. I'm not really willing to because he shouldn't force me to stop something that I like doing.
That's understandable. Because you never like just be like any other kind of thing. Like you said, he likes to buy sneakers, right? So you don't think that he
Right.
would just want to just stop buying sneakers. You don't
I
think
don't
that
tell
you
him
should
to
be able
stop
to tell
buying
him to do that,
sneakers.
right?
Right.
So you don't think it's really his place to be able to tell you to
No,
stop doing something
not
that
at
you
all.
love. I understand that. I think I can get that. I feel like everybody might feel that way about certain things that they really love doing, like hobbies or interests
And
or
like I
anything
said,
like
I'm not
that.
hurting anybody. It's not like I'm addicted to drugs or I'm harming myself or I'm interacting differently with people, you know?
Now, and another maybe we could maybe look at it from a different perspective, but you did say that you had been wanting to save up for a car, correct?
Right,
And
yes.
how has that
I've
been
been
going for
trying,
you?
I've been failing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that affecting you in other ways?
Well, it's not allowing me to get a job, which I desperately need. I realize I need a job.
Is that also something that you want, or is that just something that you feel that you need?
Well, if I was winning money from gambling, I wouldn't want a job. really only need a job. So my hope is that if I continue to gamble, eventually I'll be making money. But right now that's not the case. But my boyfriend's not seeing it like that. He's just seeing it as we have no money right now, you need to stop. But I'm hopeful that eventually I will accumulate.
Now, have you tried to sit down and explain this all to
I've
him
tried
from
to,
your point of view?
and it kind of just escalates to an even bigger argument, which just stresses me out, and I isolate myself and I go gamble, which is another issue, is my isolation. My friends and my family have been telling me that I don't go out anymore. I sit home, and they basically think I'm wasting my life away behind a computer screen.
Do you feel that way at all?
I don't see it as a waste of time because I enjoy it.
Do you feel like you're missing out on opportunities with spending time with your family or friends? Do you
I
feel like you're missing out on those kinds of social events because you're staying home? Are you missing that kind of interaction?
I am missing interactions, especially because my sister had just had a daughter, so that's my niece, and I haven't really been there for milestones.
Mm-hmm.
And I do see that I've been home gambling, but then I just related to, well, that's my stress relief because my boyfriend's causing all these problems.
Now, do you think that there is any way that you maybe would be able to do both, being able to go out and see your family and friends while still maybe like cutting back on your gambling a little, maybe not
Right.
doing it as much? Do you
See,
think
I
that
could
might
see
be a possibility that you might be able to
I could
incorporate into
see
your life?
that there could be an incorporated balance between the two, but right now I'm so resentful of how everybody's treating me just based upon enjoying something online that I don't really want to make that effort or take that step, because I'm in my head it's like, well, if you loved me as much as you say that you want me to change, then maybe you would reason with me more.
I think I can understand that. If you were to decide to change, what do you think you would have to do to make that happen?
To change, like, what can I do to change?
Yeah, do you have any?
I would definitely have to narrow down on how much I gamble, which would in turn help me save money. And I see how that could pose benefit for both me, my boyfriend, and our living space, and maybe see more time with my family.
And then be able to have those special moments
Those
that
special
you want
moments,
with your
yeah.
with your sister's daughter, right? Suppose you don't change. What do you think would be the worst possible outcome? What do you see as being the worst thing that could come out of you not changing?
My boyfriend would probably end up leaving me.
How do you feel about that?
About my boyfriend leaving, it would upset me, even though we are going through a rough patch right now. He is the only person I see because I am so isolated. So he is a huge part, if not the only part of my life right now. So I would want to make amends with that. And then also, because he is contributing so much to rent, I guess I never realized I wouldn't have a place to live either.
Now, do you feel like that's something that you would, take the risk of happening? Do you feel that your gambling is more important than that? Do you value your gambling more than your relationship?
More than my relationship, no. But I value it more than being disrespected, in which I feel that my boyfriend's doing because he's not reasoning with me. The real part that hits home is now realizing if my boyfriend does in fact leave me, I won't have a place to live.
So
that's
it
a big
seems
issue.
that there's some really big possible repercussions if you don't cut
Yeah.
back or stop gambling, correct?
Right, yeah. Which I never really realized that one leads to the other.
It's definitely, sometimes it may be hard initially to see those kinds of connections. You might have to like take a step back and look at it from a different perspective, but you can definitely see that they could potentially be interconnected, which could pose some problems later on, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you feel that now you might be more apt to being open to possibly changing?
I
or
can see
do
that
you
I
still feel
definitely
like you
need
don't
to
see it as an
change,
issue?
and I want to take this step in maybe seeing my how I can go about it and weighing out the options.
And looking at resources
Right.
that are available and
Which I
looking
am
into them.
more open to that.
So you definitely feel that you see that there is a problem, and you
I
don't
now realize
want
that there is
you
a
want
bigger
to change,
problem
correct?
than I had initially seen.
Okay. Well, there are definitely a lot of options out there for you if you are really serious about changing. There are lots of different kinds of resources depending on what works best for you. I know that you said that you're not working, so that wouldn't really be at this point
Yeah,
a factor
basically
that would
I can
affect
go at any time. It's just
what you can
the
do.
accessibility because I don't drive.
So I feel like what might work best for you might be something like um, probably like an outpatient. There are groups. There's Gamblers Anonymous, which is a group of people who meet. They can meet once a week, twice a week. There's meetings every day, multiple times during the day, where people who are also going through the same thing as you are. You're definitely not the only person out there. They go and they can actually sit and talk about their addiction, their issues, their problems. They can talk about their experiences with one another and kind of learn things from each other, what worked for one, what didn't work for the other,
Right.
and kind of help come up with a solution there. It's definitely a 12-step program, but I feel that it would be something that would be accessible for you. There's meetings in all different kinds of locations and different times,
So there would be
probably
one location by
near
me.
you that would probably work for you. We could definitely look into that. If that's something that you would be willing to try, we can definitely look around
I would
and
be
find out
interested in
information
that.
for that. I can give you the necessary information you need for that. I can print out some, the times that they are, the locations that you are, and
That would
find
be
out
perfect.
what works best for you, what days work best for you,
Right.
and we can set up a program through that.
That would be perfect.
You're willing to do that?
Yes.
Perfect. Then we can get all of that set up for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.